Do you ever just sit and stare at something in awe for hours because you don't understand how one single thing could contain so much beauty? Like, how? That's what I'm doing right now, looking at this freaking building. I mean, golly, look at it.
Won't you just look at it?
I just cannot understand how something so simple could contain so much beauty. Hey, welcome to Off the Ranch. My name is Matt. I'm sitting on top of a giant dirt hill out here at the ranch. This is Off the Ranch, but it's on the ranch. Should we change the name of this channel or not? That's what we need to know. Anyway, we have the shell of the building completely done. Well, 99% done. And I actually just walked it, drawing out where I want to put all the important stuff. And I haven't showed you guys this in a while. You guys want to check it out? It's pretty sweet. We'll do that right after I get down from this hill and after a word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Omaze. Omaze empowers nonprofits to do their world-changing work. Most nonprofit marketing is typically done in events that are only around once a year. They're difficult and expensive to organize, and they're only accessible to those who have enough money to get there. Through their platform, people have supported over 350 charities, driving awareness and raising significantly more money than traditional fundraising methods. I'm super pumped to partner with Omaze again. Last time we gave away some really awesome prizes, and this time it's even better. First, we're giving away a 2021 Can-Am Maverick, and then we're also giving away a 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe C71 so you can tow it with it, which is going to be pretty sick. To enter, you got to go to omaze.com/OTR. You want to know how I know this giveaway is a lot better than last time? Let me show you. Go wild with the ultimate adventure duo, a Can-Am Maverick X3 and a Chevy Tahoe Z71. Score off-road fun for the whole family with this pure sport UTV and tough as nails SUV. You'll also help Boys and Girls Club of America inspire young people nationwide. The Boys and Girls Club of America inspires and enables all young people, especially those who need it most, to reach their full potential. They have around 4,700 locations that are there to help every young person who enters their doors. Their goal is to have all members on track to graduate from high school with a plan for their future. They teach members about demonstrating good character, citizenship, and a healthy lifestyle. Let me tell you more about this grand prize. This beast is a 2021 Can-Am Maverick X3 Max X RS Turbo RR with smart shocks. The engine is a 900cc Rotax turbocharged triple cylinder. It's a four-wheel drive with lockable front differential and smart lock technology. It has up to 195 horsepower and 90 foot-pounds of torque. It has digital display screens, ergo lock cockpit and seating, 14-inch beadlock wheels and 30-inch tires, Fox Podium racing shocks, 22 inches of suspension travel, smart shocks with dynamic dampening adjustment, as well as LED headlights and taillights. I think I'm in love. And this beauty is a 2021 Chevy Tahoe C71. It has a 5.3-liter Ecotec 3 V8 engine with four-wheel drive, 355 horsepower, and 383 foot-pounds of torque. It has tons of special features like Toyo Open Country MT tires, rough country suspension leveling kit, hill descent control, 25.5 cubic feet of cargo space, a 10.2-inch screen, and a panoramic sunroof. It also has an impressive towing capacity at 8,200 pounds, which makes it super easy to tow your new Can-Am. For your chance to win a Can-Am Maverick and a Chevy Tahoe, go to omaze.com/OTR. And don't forget that every single donation goes to support the Boys and Girls Club of America. Again, that is omaze.com/OTR, linked in the description below. I appreciate Omaze for helping make this build possible. So, as you can see, we have built a echo. It's really weird. I'm this far out and it still goes in and echoes and comes back. We have built it's fairly straightforward metal building. Very simple. We have 5 bay doors along the front, and they're really tall. You can't really tell with this camera, but watch this. I'm 6 feet tall. Top of my fingers is 8 feet tall. Which means those are like 30-foot tall doors, I think. The reasoning for that was we wanted to be able to put 5 tons or fire trucks or whatever else we might put in the future in here. How tall are tanks? Never mind. The doors are 12 feet wide, which I think vehicles all have to be within, I think they have to be like 8 feet wide. So that means these doors are 4 foot wider than any vehicle that will legally be on the road. So should be able to squeeze a lot in there. And my thought, I haven't told you guys a whole lot about what the whole purpose of this barn is and what my complete vision is. All I've told you is that I want to not be limited by space on ideas and projects that I have in the future. We had a little house in town that just had like a 1.5 car garage. And so I'm gonna get out of this echoey stuff. So Mayor's car was in there, and the other half I had a workshop, which was awesome because that was the first time I'd ever had like a workshop. And I did all my projects right there, and it was great. Like we went out in the driveway and did them, but like space was limited, and so there was stuff I couldn't do. And then we moved to the property I'm at now, where we had a big barn, and it was crazy the amount of stuff I could do, the amount of extra things you can do with space and power and tools and stuff that you can store in a big barn. But there was still some things that I couldn't do, and in comes this building. We have a huge space, 10,000 square feet of interior space in here with giant bay doors where I could do whatever I want. So right now, all we have is this shell. We have the garage doors all installed right here and a shell. We don't have any electric yet, we don't have any water yet, but that's all coming. So in this corner over here, we are actually gonna have it walled off and be enclosed. So we have a lot of people who come and hang out here, as you guys have seen on the channel. Get the donut operators and the Krispies and all those guys. Kentucky Ballistics comes. We want a place where we can have an air-conditioned area where we can all hang out, eat. And we pretty much eat food every time anybody comes and hangs out. We spend hours out here and we eat. We want to have air conditioning or heat because we don't always film in perfect conditions. And that'll be really fun to have, and just pretty much just a place where we all can hang out and have fun, and Meredith thinks we're working. That's the plan. Also, big news, guys. Demolition Ranch is going to have bathrooms. As you can see, we have drains. Those are for toilets. These are for sinks. We are going to have bathrooms at Demolition Ranch, so my friends don't have to poop in the woods anymore. You're welcome, Kentucky. He's going to be a big fan of that. Just kidding. He has not pooped in the, well, he hasn't told me he's done that anyway. You never know with those Kentucky guys, they're kind of freaks. What the heck, the kids have been here? All right, let me back up over here so you guys can kind of get an idea. So this will be a wall to here, will be a wall to there. So that is going to be the conditioned space, which probably makes up about 20%, probably 20% of this area. It's about a fifth, not a big part, not half, not a quarter. It's less than a quarter of this space. I think 20% is actually a pretty good guess. So then all of this over here is going to be open warehouse. Now, here's the plan for the warehouse. This thin sheet of metal to the outside. Summer, that's gonna be rough. That'll be just radiating heat in here and it'll be terrible. So our plan is to spray foam the entire inside of this building, which will make it so nice. It won't be air conditioning because it's a huge space, and it has so many doors that we can open. You can see there's more garage doors over there as well. So we can have all the doors open, great breeze coming through. These doors are big, it'll be fine. We'll get some fans in here as well. Not gonna be conditioned, but insulated will make a huge difference on super cold days, because we probably will have some heaters in here. I haven't really thought about that yet. Texas doesn't get terrible in the cold. It gets terrible in the heat, but when you have a breeze, it'll be all right in the shade. Insulated building. And then I was thinking, the bunker, the way we have it, it's a warehouse like this, but nicer finish out. In our offices, we painted all the insulation in the office space, which is about probably 40% of the bunker warehouse. We painted it all black just because we wanted the aesthetic to look really cool. But in the warehouse, we wanted it to be bright enough that it was easy to find everything and better working conditions and nice and bright. So we left it white with the insulation and red with the red iron, the primer that's on that metal. And it's very bright and great. It looks like when you're working, it's great because it's nice and bright and you can see everything. But it just looks lame. And so I was like, man, with this one, I want to paint everything black to make it, I don't know, just that vibe looks so cool. The problem is it will make everything super dark, because I also want to have the floor coated, and the floor is going to be a dark color as well. So we're going to get epoxy on the floor so that stuff doesn't stick to it, so that stuff doesn't mess it up, and so that it just looks really nice. They add like texture to it, and they add like flecks, like little flakes, flecks, specks, speckles, spots. You know, they throw those and it gives it texture and makes it look really cool and some depth, basically. That's how the whole floor will be. And then I want everything, walls and ceiling, to be black. Problem is, it's gonna be super dark. So we're gonna have to add a bunch of lights to make it to where you can see what you're working on here. We're gonna spray foam insulation, so we want the electrical to be all run in the walls wherever it needs to be, and then we come spray foam it, and it seals it all up, and then you don't see it everywhere, which would be nice. So I just walked through this whole place and figured out where I want to put all the electric. Just to give you a general idea, this is gonna be our bays for working on cars, and so we want a couple car lifts over here. I think we're gonna have a car lift there, and we're gonna have another car lift right here, so there'll be a space in between them without, so that we could have 2 different cars that are up on lifts that we are working on. Same, like there's a lot of times where it's like, we've had, you know, we've been doing an engine swap on the El Camino, so it's been on the lift, but also we need to change oil in a truck, so we just want to run it in and use the lift really quick. It would be nice to be able to come in and we already have a car on the lift and we can't easily put it down, so we just use the other lift if we have something short, like an oil change or, you know, changing tires or something like that. Or maybe we have 2 big projects going at one time. Maybe we have a burnout car and we have some restoration we're doing, both staying on the lift for a month at a time. I also wanted extra bays because I have friends who have either been using my shop or wanting to use it, but they can't get in because there's no room. And so, like Burke has a car that he likes to work on and he comes to use the shop. My brother, operator Drewski, he's been wanting to use my shop. He wanted to use the lift for a while, but we had, I think it was, yeah, the Bronco was on the lift and we couldn't put it down because the suspension wasn't done. And we had the Bronco on the lift for like 2 months when he really wanted to come just use it for like a couple days, and we couldn't. So I want to be able to have a place where my buddies can come in here and use my tools, use my shop whenever they want, and there's plenty of room and it doesn't impede anything that I'm trying to do, and they can do whatever they want to do. Works good for everybody. This area over here, well, okay, let me stay. I'm going too many places, guys. I'm sorry about you. We're gonna have workbenches all right here. Electrical, we're gonna go up and come down and have drops from the ceiling. Some of them like hard pipe, so they'll be like hard pipe down to benches, and then we'll have electric outlets on the benches. Some of them just like the reels with, you know, extension cords on big reels, we'll pull those down. Also air, we'll have a tank outside, a compressor outside that'll pump up with air, and then the hoses run in and they will come up and we'll have some drops down with air as well. That will be all over here. There's gonna be a little bit of room right here before we get to the actual air conditioned spots over there, which I'm thinking will be maybe car storage, maybe have some lifts. Like, you guys have seen all the cars I have. I got plans for more. I have a lot of things I want to do coming up with this shop. So I probably need to conserve space. So I was thinking if we had like a 4-post lift, we could stack cars over there. There's enough room there to stack cars, which would be really nice. Haven't told Meredith about that one yet. And then over here, it's gonna be a lot of big open space. This is also gonna be our barn where we keep all the go-karts, where we keep the lawnmowers and all the chainsaws and all the stuff we use for doing work. Also, it's gonna be like, we'll keep all the lumber down here. So my barn at home now, like we do all of our woodworking out of there. I build all my projects in there and everything. We're also gonna have all that stuff in this space in here, as well as side-by-sides. My golf cart will stay in here. I don't golf, for those who are wondering. I'm not a loser. I do cool stuff like pew-pews and stuff. Sorry to all you golfers, but I actually think it's really fun. I'm just terrible at it, so I like to make fun of you guys. 5-ton fire truck. I want my fire truck to be at the ready at all times, so it has to stay in here next to a door, just like a fire station. This is the Demo Ranch Firehouse. So the fire truck has to be ready to go. So there's gonna be some big trucks being stored in here as well that aren't really being worked on. I mean, they will be worked on, but they'll be mostly in here for storage and just keep them nice, keep them from getting rusty and stanky from sitting out in the rain all the time. Sorry I just talked to you guys for so long about it, but I just spent, before I turned this camera on, like 2 hours in here walking around, figuring out where I wanted everything, drawing it all out so that I can get some electricians in here, because we need them to come in and start fixing all this up before I spray foam everything. That's my plan. If you guys have any other ideas about things that I need in here that I'm forgetting, I would 100% love to hear that. What am I forgetting? We're gonna have lights on the outside, especially around the doors, so that if I'm ever working after hours, basically it's like a barn, shop, man cave kind of thing on steroids. What does it need? What should I not forget to include in this? Greatly appreciate you, Demolitia, for helping me out. Thank you. Fans, big fans on the ceiling. I just thought of that. Sorry, I was just driving through the ranch and just thought we need some big fans, some big booty fans. You guys, some of you guys will get that reference. Oh yeah, look at that Bronco at night. Got something cool done, but you can't see it in the dark, so I'm gonna drive it to the light. Assuming it starts. I know it starts. This thing always starts. freaking in love. We're so close on this. Check out, well, don't check it out yet. I gotta drive it to where we can see. First they need headlights. Oh, there we go. That's a tilt trailer that for some reason did not tilt. I must have not unlocked it. But luckily we're in a Bronco that does not care if your trailer tilts or not. Look at the Bronco. It's got lights all on. It's in my garage. It barely fit. It's a little taller than I thought. We got headlights. So good looking, those LEDs. And we got exhaust. Let's just listen to it. It's not smoking, it's cold out here. That's steam. All right, let's turn her off, show you what we did. Because it looks a lot better than last time you saw the exhaust. Some of you guys may have seen the video I put out 3 videos ago-ish, where we got exhaust work done on the Bronco, and it was bad, like so bad. The exhaust pipe was right above the tire, so if the tire came up at all, it was gonna hit it, and then the exhaust pipe was right above and touching the leaf spring. This spring right here, the exhaust pipe came over the top of it right there and was resting on it. So if the leaf spring bounced at all, which, spoiler alert, they do, it was going to push up that exhaust pipe or dent that exhaust pipe or rub on that exhaust pipe every single teeny tiny bump we hit. And big bumps was gonna ruin the exhaust pipe. I was like, why would you do that? And anyway, talked to the shop owner, I was like, hey man, y'all need to check this out. And they checked it out and they were like, holy cow, that's terrible. And so they took it back in and they redid everything for free. And I didn't call them out. I didn't say their company name. I didn't show a sign or anything in that video. So they weren't doing it to save face because I didn't call them out. They were doing it to have a good business and be good people. And they realized that one of their people who was on my truck that day just didn't do a great job. And so let me show you the new exhaust. So just like before, it's true dual exhaust all the way back. So we have one pipe coming from this side, one pipe coming around from this side. One thing that they did that I like is they put the 2 mufflers, so there's dual exhaust, so 2 mufflers, they put them side by side. Before they had them staggered, which doesn't matter, but I think side by side looks way nicer. The welds are all cleaner. They also put a bunch of brackets like this right here. There's a bunch of brackets like that holding these exhaust pipes together, and there's a bunch of hangers. Hanger there, hanger there. They're hooked together right there as well, and more hangers back there, so they stay, I look good. They stay all in the same place. Now the most important part is where they exit the truck over here, which is what they really did a bad job on last time. So in Broncos in particular, you need side exit exhaust. That's what all the forums say. I don't have any experience with this, but apparently if you have dual exhaust or any exhaust dumping out the back, the way these things are is they create a like circular motion of airflow back here, and it comes right in through your window if it's open, or around your window if it's closed. It still has some air movement, or just around the cab. It makes your exhaust circle like this, fills your cab with smoke. And so side exit is the best way to get exhaust out because it pushes it out the side and goes around that vortex that's happening behind you. So we needed to get the exhaust to come out the side. Before, they came right there and came over this leaf spring right over here. So it's really close to this, it was touching that. Makes no sense. This time, they put the curve in right there, and they went next to the leaf spring. Much better, not touching anything. Coming right here, going under the leaf spring, also plenty of room there, not touching. And then they have these 2 pipes here. So all in all, great job shop. Very happy with that. Was not happy with it before, but they brought it in, they fixed everything. They didn't charge me anything extra for all the extra work they had to do because they were just fixing what they had messed up. So, all in all, I'm super happy. A lot of you guys might be wondering, Matt, paint? Nah. This is the way that I remember this truck, looking like this, and this is the way I want it to be. So we replaced all of the driveline, like we replaced or fixed or painted and redid the entire driveline. The frame, I mean, it had a frame off. You guys saw it over the last several years. We pulled the whole thing off. The frame was all sanded down, sandblasted down, got all the surface rust off of it, totally cleaned up. New F350 axles, all new brake assembly, new wheels, new transmission, new engine, and then interior's all new as well. Speaking of the exterior of this truck, I found some pictures when I was cleaning my house today. Check that out. This picture was taken in probably 2003. That is this Bronco. And for those who don't remember the whole story, this Bronco was owned by one of my buddies growing up. His name was Tyler Voss. He was a groomsman at a wedding, but we went to high school together. We played soccer together. We went mudding in this truck together. And Tyler joined, after high school, joined the Air Force Academy. And then he graduated and went on to the Air Force. And he actually died while serving the Air Force. He was in a KC-135 that crashed. This was his truck in high school, and he hadn't driven it since then. He left it at home. I mean, driven it off and on, but hadn't taken it with him or anything. So he had stayed at home in a pasture, and then it had just stopped running, and his brother asked me if I wanted to take the truck. And so that is how I acquired this Bronco. Probably 3 years after Tyler's death, his brother contacted me and asked me if I wanted that thing. And I was like, heck yeah, because I have some fond memories in this truck, and oh, it's cool to have because it was one of my good buddies. But on this day in 2003, that's Tyler in the driver's seat. This is my friend Stuart. And I don't know if this one, there's another person in the passenger seat here, and all you can see is their back. That's either me or I was the one taking the pictures. I don't remember, but it was us four, and we had driven this Bronco through this water, and it got way deeper than we thought. This is a lifted Bronco here too. I mean, it's a tall truck, and it is down that far. So we drove it in here, and as you can see by this picture, it is still running, and we are desperately trying to keep it running. That is water kicking off the fan. So the engine is half underwater there. It is shoving water off the fan up into the air, splashing all over our air cleaner. So it was basically a fan like that, not this one, not this whole engine. This is all new, but shooting water up here, hitting the hood and splashing all over our air cleaner. And we were trying to not let it stall because we did not want to get this thing stuck any more than it already was stuck. And if this thing died, we would really be stuck. So the way we got it out, we were really smart kids. And it was down like a muddy bottom of this. This is a stagnant pond, by the way. That's not a river. It was just a pond of non-moving water. Oh, that reminds me. I had just got my wisdom teeth out like 2 days before. And I don't know if y'all know, but when you get your wisdom teeth out, the doctor specifically tells you don't go swimming, because if you get any bacteria in there, you'll get an infection and get a dry socket and all this terrible stuff. And so they said, don't go swimming. And I was like, no problem. I'm not going to go swimming. And then we end up stuck in this stagnant pond. And we decided the way to get out was to go down underwater. We were going to swim down, put rocks. We got the biggest rocks we could carry. And we would swim down underwater and shove them underneath the tires so that we could have some traction, because we were just on mud. So I was holding my mouth closed as tight as I could to not let any water seep into my mouth. And I was like, my mom is going to kill me, but we got to get this truck out. And so I was just trying to not let any of this disgust. The water smelled terrible too. Like I knew if I got a drop of that in, I would get infections in all 4 of my wisdom tooth holes. So anyway, long story short, we got the truck out. I did not get an infection. That was, all in all, a great day. And we have multiple memories like that in this Bronco. I remember getting it knocked over like kind of on its side one time a little bit. Not bad because you can't see any major damage, but just there's some little things that happen. Just a good truck. And so that's why I don't want to paint it, because this is the truck I remember, not some beauty queen. I remember this thing. And I want to be able to go have fun with it. And if I painted this thing some beautiful red color, I just saw this really nice red Bronco the other day in town, and I was like, God, it's pretty. But if this thing was a beautiful candy apple red pretty paint job, I wouldn't want to go drive it around and possibly get it stuck in ponds or scratch it on cedar trees or whatever. So I wanted to leave it like this so that I would use it as we used it back in high school, play with it, romp and stomp, go off-roading, scratch it up, dent it up, and have a good time doing it. So, my truck now, I can do whatever I want. You guys tell me to paint it, I don't care. No one's really telling me to paint it. Everybody's saying, Matt, do what you want. And I appreciate that. You guys are cool. This thing's cool too. And soon, we're gonna get it all put together so I can get it inspected and get it back on the road again. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Off the Ranch. We have another really good Bronco video coming to you very soon, where I'm hoping that we get a sticker and make this thing street legal once again. I love you, and I'll see you next time.
Oh. Hey, what camera is that? Number...
Shut up! Don't tell Mayor.